Boogie Nights represents attitude era moment in movies created in that same kind of late 90s time frame when a lot of the same cultural stuff was stirring up that was influencing wrestling.
Very similar in terms of trying to pull the veil back on this thing that represents in a fictional way a huge part of our identity as human beings. Like fighting is a really fundamental part of who we are as people, and so is having sex. And I think they're trying to destroy that world to rebuild it.
And that's definitely something that's literally going on in Boogie Nights, right? Like you said, the storyline transition to the way the genre is changing, but also what's kind of going on in the movie. This is pre-Sopranos. Violence and sex weren't as violent and sexy on TV and in movies as they are now. Boogie Nights was like, no, there's going to be sex and there's going to be real, pretty graphic violence. And there's also going to be these long, very talky portions where people are talking out these kind of transparently symbolic conversations. So it was just something so different.
The movies that Dirk Horner makes at the beginning, to the point where Dirk and Reed start pitching him the Brock movies, the movies he does that have actual storylines where he's a secret agent.
Well, I don't like seeing women treated that way. This guy who plays Johnny Wad, it's always about slapping some girl around or whatever. It's not right. It's not cool. It's just not sexy. I mean, it's not sexy like it should be, Jack.
This guy's more of like a James Bond type character. He's classy.
Those are the transition between like the new generation. And to me, the Attitude Era matches up almost perfectly with when they move to video and you see the videos they were making, pretty explicitly misogynist, like not even storyline driven movies, just having sex with as many girls as possible. And
violence? No. What? I mean, if there's a certain amount of, violence or action in this series of films, that's the movie.
And violent misogyny, which is the Attitude Era.
When you look at everything that we do on balance in terms of entertainment, you stay with the storyline, Bob, okay? Our women are extremely strong. Now, I would suggest that the degradation, as you called it, of Trish, which was of her own volition, by the way. I wasn't making her do that. This is a soap opera.
Anderson does a really good job of addressing performative toxic masculinity. What Vince did, and the problem he had for a really long time, is he ignored that and he let it fester. And then once it became no longer okay to have women just be eye candy, like when that became an offensive idea, as it should, they had trouble transitioning out of there until they said, no, we have to completely overhaul the way that we look at this division and treat them like they're equals and build from there, not from trying to build them up to be equals. We have to make them equals, and then they will fake it until they make it. And they've made it very quickly. What you see at the end of Boogie Nights is this idea of female empowerment. Roller Girl goes back to school. Amber Waves is now a commercial director.
I think that does very much mirror what's going on in wrestling right now, but also I'll qualify that in one way, in that the center of the business is still the guy who's over because he has the big dick.
This is my yard now.
The thing, the it thing, the thing that the people really want, the thing that at the end of the day makes all the money is the big dick. And I think that's definitely still the way TV shakes out. You talked about the time inequities on previous episodes. The way some of that stuff shakes out demonstrates that people in the back still think that the dick is the main event.
Here among the poor, despicable